business. What is a constraint? Let us say, mm, let me go through an example. I have a table EMP, same EID, ename, sal, job name, address, join date, right? I am entering the values like this. 1, A, 21,000, job, developer, address, KKP, J date, so and so J date. Okay, in the next time I am entering like this. I don't know employee ID, employee name X, employee salary 90,000, and job name is clerk, and address I don't know address, and join date is 7th of March 8. Next. This is the data in my table. Are you finding any problem in this kind of data? Yeah, see here. More than one employee should not have same ID, right? So duplicate employee ID is not allowed actually. But here we are having duplicate data in this column. That is wrong. Next, each employee should have one employee ID. No employee is there who is working without ID, right? So this is also wrong. Next, employee name, employee name, employee name. Okay, more than one employee having the same name, no problem. At some cases, multiple persons are having the same name. Okay, here 21,000, 21,000. Okay, multiple employees will get the same salary, maybe. But 90,000 is wrong. According to my company requirement, the maximum salary in my company is 50,000 only. But here 90,000 I am entering. Okay, and okay, developer. But no clerks are there in my company. Only developers, testers, admins. Okay, and each okay, here see, in the case of address, okay, multiple employees living in the same area, and maybe at some cases we don't know about the address of employee, no problem. Yes, it may contain null values. So multiple employees joined at same date, no problem. So finally, you are having some unwanted data in the table. So you have created a table and you are entering simply whatever the values you are having in your hand, you are entering. Even the values are right or wrong, you are not going to check it. Directly just you are entering the values into the table only. In that case, you are maintaining unwanted data automatically in the table. Unnecessary data, invalid data. So how can I avoid that invalid data? Yeah, in my company, only 1,000 number of employees are there. Each employee should have an employee ID, and yeah, that employee ID must be unique for each person. Okay, and my maximum salary is 50,000 and minimum is 20,000. And my job designations in my company is developer, test engineer, and administrations. Okay, so how can you specify these rules and regulations on the data? So every time I am using the word in my company means according to my business, I have defined some rules and regulations in the business. Those rules are called as business rules. The business rules can be applicable for the data of the database, by using data integrity constraints. Got it? If you apply constraints on the data, then there is no question of incomplete data or there is no question of invalid data. Okay, now we are coming to the part of integrity constraints. What is the integrity constraint? Let me write in the above table. We are having inconsistent data. Consistent data or invalid data. so, so it is not a proper database. Okay. Now, what is the constraint? A constraint is a rule. A constraint is a rule or a restriction applicable on the data of the database. Is a rule or a restriction applicable on the database. Okay, so what is the advantage? At which level I can? So here you are having three levels of databases there: physical level, logical level, end user level. Again, or we can say physical level and logical level and network level. Three levels are there. Physical level means storage area. You are installing Oracle database. Then at which place it is storing? In your hard disk. Am I right? So okay, you are creating a table and you are entering the data into the table. At which place it is storing? In the hard disk. Right? That is known as a physical level. What is a logical level? Logical level means, okay, I have created a table. It is containing 1000 records. I want to display first 10 records from the table. So, whenever you are displaying those 10 records, is it physically displaying it to you? No, logically. The 10 records, a copy of 10 records is displayed to the requested user. Okay, so you are setting up business rules. Business rules are permanent or temporary? Permanent, always permanent. Before starting the business analyst can define the business rules. Okay, they are always permanent. If you are saying permanent in the sense, always you have to define at physical level. Okay, yeah. So constraints can be defined at DDL level. Constraints can be defined at DDL level. One second. Okay, that's fine. DDL level, what are the DDL commands you are having? Create, alter, drop. Got it? So, if you want to define the constraints, use create. If you want to change the constraint, use alter. If you want to delete the constraints, use drop. Got it? Only DDL commands are allowed to define these constraints. Now, so what is the advantage by using data integrity constraints? So data integrity constraints enforces the database to maintain consistent data only. Data integrity constraints enforces the database to maintain consistent data only. So it ensures, okay, if you are maintaining the data integrity constraints on the table, then it ensures the complete and correctness of data. Ensures the complete and correctness of data. Data. This is the way. Okay. Now, what are the types of constraints in your RDBMS? Constraints. So you are having three types of constraints generally. First one is key constraints. Yeah, it is better to start up tomorrow. Okay, key constraints. Let me list out these things. First one, unique. I will give you the description tomorrow. Next B is not null. The most important topic, so be careful about here, and if you are unable to understand, immediately stop and ask me. Primary key, why? Because the further classes are based on this concept only. Yeah, so key constraints can be applicable on column level, individual columns. Okay, so in this column, what is the rule I have to apply is, in this column each value must be different, first one. Okay, and each employee must have an employee ID. So don't leave any employee ID. You have to enter employee ID value, and all employee ID values must be different. Yes, so it is the combination, unique and not null combination will be applicable by using primary key, right? Yeah, here employee name, all employee names must be present. Don't leave it as a null, means not null. Suppose if you are having a employee mail ID, so here mail ID. So mail ID must be different for each employee or not? Yes, different. Maybe if you are not having the information about the mail ID of an employee, maybe it may be missing. Means it allows the null values, but it doesn't allow duplicates. Unique. Okay. Tomorrow I will give you the description about these key constraints. Right. For today I'm